Hi, I'm Aiden. I grew up having everything I wanted in life, until one day, my dad lost it all. We live in a much smaller house now, and we don't go on lavish trips on the holidays anymore. But at least we're still a happy family. Mom works as a cashier at a grocery store, and Dad works at whatever construction job he can get. I was in high school when I started working for my uncle's pizza place to help my parents out. Like they say, working with family is not always the best experience, especially when you go to the same school as said family. My cousin, Devin, is in the same class as me. And let's just say, he's a bit of a... well, I'd rather not say. Hey, cuz! Come join us! We're all playing the new Nokemon game that just released. Oh. Oh, wait. I forgot you can't afford it. You don't even have a Nintendo Switch. Oh, good one. His minions laughed and pointed. I rolled my eyes. No matter how lame my cousin's jokes were, they'd still laugh just because they got to hang out at his pizza place for free. Yeah, no, I can't afford it. But at least I didn't have to ask my dad to buy me one. The room fell silent. I'd never talked back to my cousin before. But when that same cousin's father is the reason why your family lost everything, you kinda forget that he's family. Devin was the type to not let things go. And as soon as he saw Amira walk into the room, he slid right up to her. Devin knew I've had a crush on her ever since we were 6. He knew I had no courage to confess to her, and as payback for talking back to him, he was going to take my crush away from me. Yo! Amira! You like Nokemon, right? Uh-huh. I got the latest one. Wanna come over to my house after school and play together? I'll even trade you the glossy Tartazard I just got. He took her shopping for clothes and took her to fancy restaurants, all while driving his dad's car and using his dad's credit card, and I couldn't help but be jealous. That should have been me. Devin was enjoying the fruits of his father's betrayal. My dad was supposed to inherit everything from my grandparents. But thanks to a well-placed bribe and some nasty rumors, Devin's dad cheated my family out of the inheritance. Dad got his business taken away. They took the ancestral house, the cars, the paintings, and we went bankrupt. Devin's dad told everyone my dad had faked the will. Uncle Walt used to be jealous of Dad's success, but I never thought he would actually forge our grandparents' signatures just to get what he always coveted. I told myself I didn't want to act as Dad did and just give way to his brother. I was gonna fight for what I wanted. And I wanted Amira. I was not gonna let Devin walk all over me anymore. So, despite my shyness, I worked up the courage to talk to her. Amira and I were early to class that day. There was only one other girl in the corner of the room, so I thought it was then or never. Hi. Amira. I don't know if you remember me, but I'm Aiden. We used to sit next to each other back in elementary school. Oh, Aiden. Aren't you Devin's cousin? Yeah. I was wondering if you'd like to go out with me sometime. I've been wanting to ask, but I just never got the... Suddenly, the whole class came pouring in. Devin arrived as well. What are you talking about, Aiden? Are you seriously trying to ask me out? Everyone heard her. My worst nightmare became a reality. Didn't your family go bankrupt? And you're asking me out? While I'm going out with your own cousin? Your cousin who can take me out to the city's best restaurants and drives me around in his Maybach. His father's Maybach? It will be mine one day. And that's the difference between us, cuz you're nothing. And I will have everything.
Only because you stole it!
Devin had his fist raised in the air. But before he could hit me with it, the whole room came to a standstill. The girl in the corner stood up and loudly proclaimed her love for me. If she doesn't want you, I'll have you. I've always loved you. I've watched you pine for Amira all these years, but I never said anything. But now I can't bear to see you get hurt by her. Raven had tears flowing down her cheeks, and I never noticed her. But since we were kids, she had grown into someone so beautiful, even prettier and hotter than Amira ever was. I was so focused on one girl that I didn't see what was right in front of me. I went to comfort her, but Devin pushed me aside and rushed to Raven, giving her a tissue. Amira was enraged. I was too. Suddenly, now that someone else wanted me, Devin forgot about Amira and he now wanted Raven. He told me to lay off her or he would have his dad fire me. And I couldn't risk losing my job just for that. My parents needed my help. Devin started courting Raven, and she kept rejecting him. But Devin was determined. He would send her gifts, and she kept returning them or giving them away. One day, he had a brilliant idea. He would use me to lure her in. So Devin sent me to Raven's house to deliver a pizza with a special message for her. When I arrived at the address, the house took my breath away. It was huge! It looked like a palace. It had sprawling gardens and extravagant columns and statues. There was even a butler that greeted me. 2 gorgeous maids led me up the grand staircase to Raven's room. The mistress prefers deliveries straight to her room. She's also asked to see you. But as soon as I went through the doors, it shut behind me with a loud thud, and the 2 maids grabbed my arms and dragged me to the middle of the room where they tied my wrists up in a velvet rope. It wasn't a bedroom after all. It was some sort of toy room. Suddenly, I felt someone grab me from behind. Finally! You're home where you belong!
Raven? What are you doing?
I'm just making sure you're mine.
But my cousin...
It's not who I want.
He'll have me fired.
Then you'll work for me. How about this? I pay you double whatever you're earning. But in exchange, you'll be my boyfriend. I looked at Raven and saw how beautiful she was. It can't be that bad. Can it? So I agreed. The next morning, we were seen at school holding hands. Devin was furious. He suddenly wanted Amira again, and at lunch, he came over to where Raven and I were sitting and kissed Amira in front of us. So, the pizza boy lands the princess. What an odd couple! Are you really sure you want this over me, Raven? Watch out. He's about to become unemployed soon. Everyone laughed at me again, but Raven was done seeing everyone torment me for being poor, and she despised Devin as much as I did, especially because I later found out Devin had broken her heart back in middle school. That same day, Raven took me to the best tailors and the most expensive shops in town. She gave me a full makeover. She gave my dad $200,000 to own his own pizza shop and bought a spot right across from Uncle Walt's shop. The grand opening was a huge success. She gifted me a Lambo to celebrate, which I tried to refuse, but she insisted. If you're gonna be my boyfriend, you better look the part. I'll make sure nobody ever looks down on you again. The next week, Raven and I drove in with my new Lambo, and everyone flocked around us, complimenting me for my new swag. Even Amira couldn't help but watch. That evening, while Raven and I were helping out at the pizza shop, Devin and Uncle Walt walked in, furious. Ah! So you get fired and you suddenly start working for the competition. Ugh, typical snake.
Where's your manager, boy? I have to protest this business. You can't just set up shop right across from me and compete with me. I will sue!
There's no law against putting up a pizza shop across from another pizza shop, Uncle. Shut your mouth, Aiden! Just do as you're told and fetch your boss! That's all you're good for. No matter where you go, you'll always be someone's employee. Is that so? Raven appeared from the back, and Devin jumped in surprise. And then Dad, too, came out from the kitchens.
Better watch your mouth in front of my son, Devin. You'll end up working for him someday.
Work? For some delivery boy? You must be joking.
That was when my staff walked in for our meeting for the day, and I made the announcement that another branch of Uncle Walt's shop has closed thanks to our ever-expanding business. Their customers were flocking to us. You? You own this place? You've been the source of my headache since this place opened? And I'm afraid I'll keep being the cause of your headaches, Uncle. You cheated us out of everything. And now, it's time for payback. I won't stop until every single one of your shops close. You see, you might have gotten the shop, but you didn't get Grandma's secret recipe. I dangled an old piece of paper in front of him, and then I nodded to one of my waiters to turn on the sign that said we were open for the day. I pointed at the other side of the street, and Uncle Walt and Devin saw every single customer at their shop leaving and coming to us. Soon, there was a line around the block. Suddenly, Uncle Walt changed his tone. You can't do this, Aiden. You'll bankrupt me. I'm already deep in debt as it is. This stupid cousin of yours has been using my credit card without my knowledge.
Bro, don't do this. We're family, right? You know I can't handle being poor.
Unfortunately for you two, you reap what you sow. But now that you're faced with the consequences, you conveniently remember that we're family. Every single one of Uncle Walt's shops closed down. And just last month, we opened our 10th branch. Devin did end up working for me when the banks took everything from his family. He now does deliveries. Amira broke up with him, obviously. I will always remember the look on my cousin's face when Raven and I opened our company HQ, and I got to cut the ribbon with my blushing bride as we kissed.